And this better days are coming. What's up, everybody? My. Welcome each and every one of you to the St. James Show. I am your host, your sweet daddy of the night, your prelate of the Carnal Church Sector. We even live over there at the Carnal Church Sector headquarters as well tonight. I am your host, St. James. Appreciate each and every one of you for joining the conversation tonight. Who do we have in the building? Of course, our number one head mod, Inspire. She's always inspiring me. God bless you. Rewind videos. Thanks for joining, Candace, and the rest of you who are just lurking in the bushes. Catherine Powell, good to see you. Will you please hit that like button tonight, and will you share right now? Just share. Matter of fact, let me remind you one more time. Hit that like button. Share the program right now to your community boards if you're a content creator. Comment. Join us here at the St. James Show. Be a subscriber. You have to be a subscriber tonight to chat, and also always donate to the channel. We are on subscriber only mode, so if you come on in here, you would have to hit the subscribe button. I'm forcing you tonight to do it. What's up, child? Please, good to see you tonight. We are having a very, very interesting week, aren't we, everybody? It is the YouTube streets, the social media streets are on a blazing fire. Not just on fire, blazing fire. What's up, V. King Shelton? Good to see you. Watching from Birmingham, Alabama. Tina Turner for president is in the house, y'all. Tina Turner's in the house. I wonder who that is. Who is that? Lord, will you give me an unction to figure out who that is? I really don't care. Long enough you're here and supporting Tina Turner. All right, Chris James, good to see you, sir. Good to see you. Well, we're going to get started in just a moment. Just waiting on our guest to show. She told me she's logging in right now. So, man, did you guys check out the videos that I did concerning the most recent interview of Tasha K? Make sure that you are always tuned into the St. James Show, and make sure that you have your notifications on. So you want to make sure that you're seeing what I am posting on the community wall throughout the day. I may not go live every day, but I try to be in connection with all the saints throughout the week. All right. So what's up, Deshaun? Good to see you as well. Oh, man. So I wanted to have this conversation tonight, and right before Michelle comes on, I wanted to have the conversation, and this is Michelle Loud that's going to be with us tonight. We all know that she has been on the social media in a fight, and it is a fight to get her son Jason back. Now, Jason was adopted by Cora Jakes, who is the daughter of televangelist, top author, New York Times author and parents, Bishop T.D. Jakes and Sarita Jakes. Cora professes to be a doctor, and she's a doctor of prayer, I guess. That's her shtick. What's up, Keisha? She enjoys I guess teaching y'all how to pray and things like that. You can book her to speak and do all that stuff. But it's really interesting because Cora has gone through quite a bit. As we know, I think it was last year, the year before, her husband was arrested and charged and convicted of child SA, and he is currently serving his term. I believe he took a plea deal, and he's currently serving a term in the bars. What's up, JP and Sean? Good to see y'all tonight. So that's an interesting thing as well, and that's just really interesting. But we're going to get to that. We are going to get right into it. I got me some tea tonight, y'all. Some ginger tea with some lemon. So I want y'all to get something to wet your whistles. What's up, Measured Man? Good to see you tonight. Let's get right into it. I'm gonna bring the guest on in about 30 seconds. One more minute.
If I hit the lottery and get 100 million, my family gonna shout, "We won." But if I go bankrupt, they say, "You bankrupt." I am tired of having people in my life who want to reign with me, but don't want to go through no rain with me. Because if we win together, we lose together. I want to declare it's my winning season. Everything attached to me, get ready to win this year. We winning financially, emotionally, spiritually, mentally, professionally.
Beautiful. Michelle Loud.
Hello.
Hello, how are you tonight?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. I'm doing well. Glad I think you got our times mixed up. I'm in California.
Yeah, so you like 2 hours behind me. I was
Behind you, thought
dropping
you were
my
late.
yes, because I was dropping my niece and my daughter off at their friend's best friend house.
Okay.
And I was looked up and I'm just like, wait a minute, what time is it? And my clock said 7. I said, oh my God, I didn't miss the whole interview. So I was like, man, it's been a day. It's been a long mommy and day.
It has it. And how many children do you have?
I have 5 beautiful souls.
5. Wow.
Yes.
Wow, that is amazing. I got one, well, 2, and it's wow, it's crazy. I can't imagine having 5.
Yes, 5.
So who is Michelle Loud? And just to, a lot of people have seen you on social media, but there are some people who aren't aware of who you are, why social media knows you. Can you just give us a short little background of who Michelle Loud is?
I am a mother of 5, as we just said. I am a truth teller. I am an advocate for parental rights. I am an advocate for women who has suffered from postpartum depression. And people know me because I finally put a name to my story on May 18th, 2022, of this battle and this journey that I've been on with trying to get my son back from Cora Jakes, TD Jakes' daughter.
Explain, what is your connection with Cora and the Jakes? How did that connection come to be?
I've been knowing Cora since I was 10 or 12.
Oh,
so
wow.
I'm not a person that came in as an adult or even as a teenager. I've known her practically my whole life. We were best friends. We grew up together in the church, and that's where the connection is.
So and this was in Texas when she was in Texas. It wasn't back in Virginia?
No.
Okay.
I am a Texas girl.
You're
born and raised, honey.
Okay. All
Clock
right.
that tea. Yes.
Cool. I feel it. Yes. Man, and tell me this. So you and Cora were pretty close then?
Yeah, we were best friends.
Best friends. Wow.
It was real close. That was a friend of mine. Well, I was her friend.
You were her friend.
Mm-hmm.
That's interesting. Was she your friend? Is the question. Okay.
Well, no. Clearly.
Yeah.
Friends don't do what she did.
Yeah. And you know what? My only thing is, when you're best friends, you know the weaknesses of your best friend. You know the strengths. You know how to make them do what you want them to do. Make them say what you want. Because I had a best friend, and I knew exactly what to do. Not always in a negative way. If you needed them to do better or do something, you knew what to say. You knew how to move according to them to get them to do what they need to do, or you want them to do. So right. I'm guessing that you guys had that kind of tight relationship.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Absolutely. Got in a lot of trouble because of her.
Wow. So she hasn't always been the great prayer warrior that she presents herself as today.
No.
What was her growing up like? Was she always like that? It's not the focus is on her, but I really want the audience to get who this person you've been dealing with all your, pretty much almost all your life.
Mm.
So growing up, you know how Bishop preaches and Sarah preaches, and what did she do as a teenager in the church?
She participated in a church. I think she might have been on the praise team for a little bit. Mm-hmm. We had this youth outreach ministry called the Reconciliation Team. She participated in that, but that was that. Cora has always been into, I guess, children and babies.
Okay.
And so outside of the church, she was nannying. Outside of that, as we got older, she went into working in the children's ministry at the church.
So her profession kind of was a nanny.
Yeah. It wasn't. Cora did not want to start preaching and stuff like that until Sarah did it. Cora did not even want to write her first book until Sarah wrote her first book. Cora knitted in prayer because she felt like she had to find something that she was better at than Sarah, per her words.
So there is kind of a tug of daddy's and mommy's attention between Sarah.
I don't care what that girl tell y'all. Let me tell y'all something. I don't care how good she say that they so close and they this and they that, and they love each other because they're sisters, of course.
Right.
But Cora has always been jealous of Sarah. Always. Cora has always, and I don't know if Sarah necessarily had the tug. It was more so Cora. Yeah. Cora has always seeked validation, seeked attention, seek to be heard, seek to be seen.
Did you find that she was maybe jealous of you at times, or jealous or at all?
I'm sure.
Because I'm looking at you and you're beautiful, and I look at Sarah and she's beautiful.
Don't do that.
No, what I'm saying is, and I'm not being shady, even though they say it. But what I'm saying is, she don't look like y'all. She's in
she
her
look like her daddy.
She looked like her dad. There you go. And we're leaving it right there.
She looked like her father.
Yeah, she a daddy's girl. But but I can see, okay. I can see
I believe every woman has their own insecurities.
Right.
You can't help what you look like when you're born. That has nothing to do, with me or with Sarah. So I believe every woman has their insecurities.
Yeah, JP said Cora is different. That's a good way to put it. So before you had Brandon, how many children? I mean, Jason. Mm-hmm. Sorry. She said, I ain't had that nigga.
No, that's not my child.
Before you had Jason, how many children did you have?
I had 3 kids.
Yeah, 3. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so now I can see it. So you got 3 kids.
And Cora was the godmother to my oldest child.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Are they still have a relationship at all? No.
Who? What?
Cora and your oldest child.
He's talking gibberish right now.
Okay. I'm talking Greek and Hebrew.
Yeah.
Okay.
Talking Old Testament.
Come over to the new. All right. So, okay, she's godmother to your oldest was. Mm-hmm. You had 3. Then you had Jason.
Mm-hmm.
And how old was Jason when he was adopted by Cora?
2.
He was 2 years.
2 going on 3.
2 going on 3.
Yeah.
What was the issue in him being adopted anyway, Michelle?
He wasn't supposed to be adopted.
What was the issue?
I never wanted to give him up for adoption. Cora took my child. She spiritually manipulated me. She put me under duress, and she coerced me to take my child. She knows it. I know it. The judge knows it. Her lawyer knows it. The lawyer I had at the time knows it. Brandon, her husband, knows it. Everyone knows it. Her parents know it. Her mom said to me and my mom, in the presence of Cammie Gardner, that she believed me.
Who's
And
Cammie Gardner?
First Lady's right-hand woman.
Gotcha.
That she believed me and that Bishop Jakes believed me. So it's not like they didn't know. But ultimately that they had to stand behind their daughter in her wrong.
And she has more children that she adopted, correct?
She has one other child that she adopted. It's been other kids that she has tried to take, other babies that she has tried to take.
And she doesn't have any of her own?
She cannot have children.
She can't have children. Gotcha. So we all know that the Jakes are well connected in Dallas.
Around the world, actually.
Yeah, you're right. I don't think it stops in Dallas. I think it really does go
it's around the world.
Around the world.
Around the world. Literally around the world.
Let me see how to phrase this. Let's see. Have you had any direct conversations with Sarita or TD Jakes?
Yes.
What have those conversations been like?
Like the one I just mentioned. And what time frame are we speaking of? What years are we speaking of? Are we speaking in children years, youth years, adult years?
Well, I'm talking about you started your fight in what month of 2022?
No, I started my fight in 2016, September of 2016.
Oh, 2016. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. What you said something? Something happened in 22 though.
I put a name on it.
No.
I put a name on it publicly. I
Gotcha.
Publicly with a name, but I've been fighting. I've been talking about it. They had me under a gag order in the NDA, so they prevented me from speaking directly about what I was going through and who I was going through against. And on May 18th, 2022, I got word about the allegation against Brandon Coleman, which is her ex-husband, of sexual assault.
Right.
And that for me, I didn't give, I don't know if I'm not going to cuss, but I didn't care.
Speak freely. But
yeah,
at that time,
I didn't give a rabbit's fat ass anymore about a gag order or an NDA.
Because your son was in that house.
Because my son was in that house. So now we have a bigger problem. Because what she should have did was call me. What she should have did was message me. Instead of being so big-headed thinking that just because you attained him illegally through the justice system, that you didn't owe me the right to call me. Right. Or owe me the right to tell me. Like, that's not my blood. Like, that's not my flesh. Like, I'm not still living and breathing on this earth.
And I'm assuming that according to the courts I'm speaking of, that things were signed. In their eyes, it was a legal adoption. But in your eyes, that happened, but I definitely did it under duress.
It's not how it went. You would think it's supposed to go like that, right? You would think that it is supposed to be a lawful procedure and they're supposed to go by the law and do what the law says. It's not what happened. Not what happened.
Walk us through what happened.
Well, then I will have to start at the beginning, right? So although me and Cora grew up as friends, there came a point in the friendship where I walked away because I got tired of being lied on by Cora to make herself look good, but to make me look bad when it came down to her parents. Okay. And hold on, I gotta put my phone on do not disturb. Mm-hmm. My children are texting.
Tell them I won't keep you all night.
Let's creak my baby girl. Okay. Yeah, and so I had to walk away from the friendship. I believe I was like 17 years old.
Oh wow.
17 years old at the time. And fast forward, life happens in that 7 year time frame. I went from having one child to having 3 kids and being pregnant with my fourth. I went from working in corporate America, having a good job, having a stable environment and household for my kids, to practically being homeless. And while I was pregnant with Jason, even before I was pregnant, well, before I found out I was pregnant with him, I was going through a rough patch and I was suffering from depression. While I was pregnant with Jason, that depression continued through that pregnancy because I was in such a turmoil state and space in my life that I didn't even want to be pregnant, right?
And at this time, you had walked away from the friendship. Had you rekindled a friendship during that pregnancy?
No, no,
No. Okay.
no. I was not around Cora at all during my pregnancy
Gotcha.
with Jason. And so, hey Keisha. And so, what was that? So yeah, so
You were going through
I was going through depression while I was pregnant with Jason because of everything that was going on around me, and because I felt very ashamed. I felt very like I let myself down. I felt like I let my family down, my church family down, a lot of people
because
down
of the pregnancies.
because of the pregnancies and because of where I was at in life. Anybody that knows me knows that I should be well off doing much other things.
Yeah.
Because of the background that I come from and because of everything that I was into. I was into dance, I was into theater, I was into Toastmasters, which is a speech
Yeah.
debate.
I've been through that. Yeah.
I
Toastmasters.
was into all of those things.
Yeah.
So I'm supposed to be a successful person, not a mother of 3 pregnant with 4, and then we get to the church, right? I don't know if you grew up in church, but how
I have. I grew up in church.
I was prominent in my church. I was in the dance ministry. I was in the youth outreach ministry. I was in the choir ministry, even though I couldn't sing. I was in the step ministry.
Was this all at the Potter's house?
This was all at the Potter's house.
Okay.
And before we went to the Potter's house.
Okay, gotcha.
So to be at a point in my life, and although I had taken accountability, like I'm here because of my choices and my actions or my decisions, it doesn't take away the feeling. It doesn't take away the shame. It doesn't take away the hurt. It doesn't take away, what I was dealing with mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. So all of that combined, and then on top of that, now I'm pregnant again. So I was just like, I was disappointed in myself, and I felt like I disappointed God. And that is a lot for a person who is really strong in their faith. And, I really love God.
Yeah.
Really, really bad. And I have since I was a young girl. So,
Do you trust God? Do you trust Him?
I trust Him. I'm also a person that has conviction.
All right.
So when I do wrong or when I do things that doesn't align with the Word of God, conviction sits in really, really bad for me, to the point where I do, become overwhelmed. And so that's what I was dealing with. Like I said, I never not wanted my child. Just at the time, I didn't want to be pregnant because I had a lot going on. I felt like I'm in no position to bring another child into the world, and then just like I said, completely disappointed. And I was going through with my kid's dad, and we separated. It was just a hell of a lot of shit going on in my world. Yeah. I'm entering a new territory where I'm a single mom for the first time. Because mind you, although I had 3 other kids prior to Jason, I had never been a single mom.
Wow. Okay.
So now this is my first time having to figure things out on my own, and I don't I didn't know how to do it. I didn't know how to do it.
Mm.
So I went through all of that, and then 7 years had passed. Now I'm pregnant with Jason, and that's what I was dealing with while pregnant with Jason. And I ended up going to the church picnic. I moved back to the city because I had moved to another city for like 3-4 years.
Mm-hmm.
And I moved back to the Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex, and I went to the church Easter picnic or Easter egg hunt picnic with
Mm-hmm.
my sister, and I saw Cora. And because she was such a familiar spirit, and you think 7 years we've grown. We're
People
not
have to have changed for the better.
have to have changed for the better. And I know that outside of her having a lion spirit,
Mm.
um,
It's all up in her, huh?
it's lion manipulation. We'll get there though.
Mm.
Outside of her having that, I felt like that was a friendship. There was a genuine love, a sisterhood between us. So when I seen her at the picnic, I just let it all out. Everything that I had been holding in, everything that I had bottled up in that I wasn't telling anybody.
Right.
I would felt like I couldn't trust anybody. It's just a lot. I just let it out there. She prayed for me. She put her hand on my belly and she prayed for me. Now, I did not know that she was suffering from PCOS. I did not know that she was barren. I did not know that she couldn't have children. I did not know that it was other kids that she had tried to take at this present time. I didn't know any of that, mind you.
Wow.
I didn't know any of that. I really thought she was a trusted ally, someone I could trust. Do not walk past this screen. I'm sorry, this is my niece. Trusted ally, all those things. And so I felt like at the time it was a safe space for me to just be vulnerable. And I just let it out. She prayed for me and she said that she'll be there for me.
Wow.
I go into labor May 21st. And I did not have anybody to go to the hospital with me. My son's dad wasn't around at the time. My mom would have to be at the house with my other kids. So she wasn't going to be able to go. I didn't have anybody. So I called her because she told me to call her if I needed her. So I called her and I said, Cora, I'm going into labor to have my son. And I don't want to have him by myself because truth of the matter is African-American women have the highest death rate after childbirth.
I have a friend here who is here in the city. She has a nonprofit just for that reason.
Mm-hmm.
Going into the African-American women going into hospital, and all of a sudden your baby's gone.
Your baby's gone, or you're dead.
Or you're dead.
You're dead. Right. So I did not want to experience that. I had never had a child by myself, and I didn't want that. And the hospital I would have to go to, I didn't know the doctor. I wouldn't have known the nurses. I wouldn't know nobody. Right. So that was kind of scary in itself. So I called her and I asked her, "Can you come with me to the hospital?" And she did. She beat me in the ambulance to the hospital. So she was there. She was in the room with me. She cut Jason's umbilical cord. Yes, all that is true.
Oh, wow. So she really felt like she was mama.
For me, when I look back in hindsight, I feel like it started there, but the desire to want my baby didn't start there. The desire to want my baby is while I was pregnant because we had a mutual friend named Ashley. And although I didn't talk to Cora, Cora would keep up with me through Ashley. So Ashley would, Cora, how Michelle doing through? She's going through it. She's not having a good time. She's pregnant. Don't want to really be pregnant. She's trying to navigate. Well, did she want to give her baby up for adoption? So she was saying it then while I was pregnant. And I remember one time Ashley brought that to me, and I was like, I don't want to give my baby up. I mean, because it's like you might not want to be pregnant, but once you feel that baby start moving around, you start kicking in you, that goes away. And I've never had an abortion.
My daughter didn't come out of me, but when I seen my daughter,
Yeah.
I mean, I wanted to fight everybody if you even look at my time.
Right. So it changes,
Can
And
imagine y'all mother and her mama crazy, so I
yeah,
know how it is.
that's how it goes. It's a lot of women out here that has
Yeah.
been pregnant that didn't want to be pregnant and got pregnant and might have, been sad the whole pregnancy. But once that baby gets here,
Yeah, yeah,
things changes. Like you're looking at your blood, your DNA, and that's one of the reasons why when women decide to give their children up for adoption, they don't allow the mother to see the child. They take the
Mm,
child from them. They don't even get to see their baby once they've agreed to give their baby up
right,
and they
right.
deliver. Because once a mother sees their child, she's going to want to keep her child.
Yeah, yeah.
So for me, that's where it started. But anywho, so she did cut his umbilical cord and it stayed with me in the hospital. While in the hospital, I was so emotional, so detached from Jason. I felt so alone. I felt so I'm just describing the type of postpartum depression that I dealt with.
And those
Okay.
seeds were already planted in your mind,
You see,
talking
because she
about
was already
in the
doing it.
beginning. So
She was already
yeah,
doing it.
yeah.
She was already doing it. And
Hmm.
so I I I feel like, or I know that I went from being depressive into postpartum depression as soon as I had Jason. I immediately became or felt like I was being suffocated, felt like I was in this deep dark hole. I felt like blackness was all around me. I was just so depressed. I was so detached from him to the point where I would feed him and I would just put him down, you know.
Mm, mm.
That's the type of uh, things that I was going through in the hospital. Cora recognized that and she said, sis or sissy,
Mhm.
you're dealing with postpartum depression.
Yeah,
She
yeah.
told the nurse that I was dealing with postpartum depression. So Cora knew exactly what I was dealing with before I even knew what I was dealing with. I
Mm,
can't say that maybe in the past I might have dealt with it, but I didn't know. It wasn't that how deep it was with Jason,
right,
right?
right.
This was a totally different level that I had ever experienced.
And you didn't have anybody.
I didn't have
Uh,
anybody.
but I'm thinking the other ones, the other children, you didn't have anybody in your ear trying to get these nuggets in you.
No,
You need to put them up for adoption. You don't
no,
need this thing.
no,
I could. You didn't have
no.
that, but you had it with Jason.
Right.
Hmm.
Hmm.
Mm-hmm.
And so then the nurse had me fill out this survey basically where it diagnosed if you are having symptoms or if you are dealing with postpartum depression.
Right.
By the end of the survey, it said that I had full blown postpartum depression. It wasn't even just, part, but it was like full
Right.
blown postpartum depression. And so Cora knew.
Yeah.
She absolutely knew, and she absolutely took advantage of it. And I felt like once she knew that, she then
She had a
decided
plan. She knocked out a
she
plan. It
started a
seemed like.
plan. She started
Mm,
playing. She started playing. And she
mm,
always told me I will always be there for Jason. She never implied my other children, you know.
mm.
So we leave from there. And to also, I have to say this every time I tell my story. Richard Brennan Coleman is not my child's biological father. I met
That was going to
Richard.
be my question. So
He's
yes.
not my child's biological father.
Mm,
A YouTuber put that out there, and it's absolutely false. I've never slept with the married man. I would never sleep with the married man. That's not a part of my character. That's not a part of who I am. I did not meet Brandon until the day I was leaving the hospital with my son, which was May 24th, 2014. That's when I met Brandon. I didn't
Oh,
know
so
Brandon's
they're trying to say that Cora's ex-husband is Jason's
father. Yes.
father.
And
Oh
he's
wow,
yeah.
wow.
So I have to say that because that kind of gets under my skin because it's deeper than just trying to say he's his father. That's implying that I had a marital affair with this
Right.
man to conceive
Well,
this
it's good
child.
to knock up your credibility and
Yeah.
all that, how
So
that they need to do. Now, are you still in communication with Jason's father?
yeah,
You are. Okay. And I'm assuming, did he have to sign off on parental rights
he was
or
supposed to, right? That's how it's supposed to go.
that's what, yeah.
It's
Yeah.
what's supposed to happen, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Did that happen?
Hmm.
No.
Oh, wow.
Did they look for him? No. Did they put it out there? No. Did they make a public viewing that, hey, we're looking for Jason Lamont, Caleb Brown's father, whomever it may be, because they didn't know? No. Did the judge require them to provide proof that they went to go search for his father and put it in a newspaper or
Yeah.
put it out publicly, because that's required by law? No.
And
They
it
didn't.
seems to me everything was done so fast because they knew it wasn't the right thing to do.
Yeah.
Have to do it really quick before, she shakes herself. We're not going to look for the dad. We're just going to get some paperwork signed and roll with it.
Well, it's a lot that transpired even before going to court.
Ooh,
So,
wow. Mm.
yeah.
What do you think?
Mhm.
What do you think is going? What? Okay, this first. When was the last time you talked to Jason?
July of last year. Before that was March of last year. Before that was November of 2022. Before that was August 2018. Before that was September 2016.
Man, a mother knows when she talked to her people, don't she?
That's my son.
Wow. Wow. What do you think is going through Jason's head right now? He's 8 years old.
He's 9.
He's
He'll
9
be,
years.
he'll be 10. He'll be 10 May 21st of this year.
Oh wow, he's almost 10. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think is going through his mind right now?
It's hard to decipher because he's in a household with a master manipulator who controls the narrative of her perceived truth versus the truth in reality. I can only pray for him and pray for his mind. I do know that when we do speak, he's overjoyed.
Mm.
He's
Mhm.
happy. He doesn't want to get off the phone. He talks to me for as long as he can. He loves to. I'm sorry.
No, go ahead. Take your time. Take your time. Mm-mm. Mm. It's all right. That's why over 160 something people here. They're here to support. They're here to hear the story. We don't want to hear anyone else's story but yours. We want to hear your heart. And
He talks to his. He likes to talk to his siblings and play games with them on the phone. He's always smiling when he talks to me.
does he still get that opportunity? Do they still play games and stuff on the phone, and they don't do
She
that
won't let
anymore?
him no more.
She won't let him. She won't let him.
When she seen how happy he be, like, she doesn't let him talk
It
to
was a wrap. She was like, nope. It's kind of like hand that rocks the cradle. It's really weird to me. It's really weird. I mean, Michelle, you have been going through some, this is tough. I can't imagine what your thought pattern is at night, during the day, and you've been on this fight for a while. Have you sought therapy? Do you actively go to therapy to help you kind of
Um,
deal with this?
I have, but it doesn't. It's no amount of therapy that. I'm sorry.
Yeah, 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 yeah. Everyone says that and thinking, and not that therapy is supposed to cure it, but
The therapy doesn't even make it easier for me
okay, okay.
because he's not here, so I can go through as much therapy and
Hmm. Because I thought about that. I was like, what is going through Jason's mind? Because let me tell you, these kids are getting more and more mature mentally than we were when we were 9 and 10 and 11. They have access to social media. Do you think that he sees the fight that his mom is doing for him?
Well,
Because
she
we can say we can take their phones and we can say that he could be at church, one of his friends pull up the phone.
she doesn't let him have friends,
Oh Lord. Mm.
and she doesn't let him have social media. She showed him my videos, but she only showed him the videos of when I was going off on her. And
Right.
that's to control the narrative, or when I speak of Brandon. And
That's
that's just to control the narrative in his head.
see. Let me tell
And
you, not to interrupt you, but when you sent me a message, you was ready to fight me when you sent
yeah,
me a.
because listen,
Maybe.
don't do
Hey, y'all.
that one. And that's why I made that status on my page. I go to war behind every child I birth. Listen, don't even do it.
Let me tell you, Michelle. She was in my inbox. You know, she got me. She came at me like a roaring lion. But she here now. But I understand because what I was doing, Michelle, was looking. I'm on the outside looking
Mhm.
in. I'm looking at you go at Cora. I'm looking at you go and you fight for your kid, which is all understandable. And it's everything that I think, I would hope that my mother would do for me. But my thing was like, dang, but they the Jakes and they so connected and the paper was signed. How in the world is she gonna get this boy back? That's my thing. That was my thinking. That's where my commentary came from.
Well, anything that's sealed can be unsealed,
Okay.
and anything turned over can be overturned. And I was forced to.
Yeah.
I didn't willingly do anything. And I think that's the part that people don't understand. I didn't get a girl my child. She
Right.
forced me to. I was in a vulnerable state, vulnerable place of mind. She kept telling me that God told her that my baby was hers. She kept saying that God told her that I had Jason for her and her husband.
Oh my
She
goodness.
performed a spiritual ritual on me and brought a prophet or a false prophet by the name of Dr. Gaylena White down from Chicago. And they
What's the
performed
name again?
Gaylena White.
Gaylena with a G.
Mm-hmm.
Gaylena White.
Yes.
Okay. Uh huh.
Perform a spiritual ritual on me one day after church. They surrounded me in a circle. There was other women there, other men there as well. And they were speaking in tongues over me and putting oil over me. Then they laid me down on my back and they was praying over my body. I had a promise ring on my hand, as a promise to my children. She took it off when she picked me up. And then she told me that she had a vision of my son in heaven sitting on God's lap with Brandon and Cora. And that's how she knew that I had my baby for her chocolate drop, which is Cora and Brandon, and that it should be well within my soul. And I
Oh
needed
my
to let go.
God. Well, false
After
prophets are
that,
running rampant
no,
in
hold on,
2024.
hold on. Because that's not all they did.
Mm.
After that, I can't remember if it was after or before that, Cora cornered me in her office or Brandon's office, pushed me up against the wall, and told me that if I did not give her my son, that she would take him from me. Cora kept every record of everything she ever bought my son from birth
Wow.
until we went to court. Okay.
Wow.
Everything. I don't know. Like, if you were genuinely just here to support me, to help me, then why are you doing that? Cora also kept every log of every time I would come to her house and not come to her house, or every time I say that I would come and I didn't come.
Oh
That's
wow.
creating paper trails. She knew
Yeah.
exactly what she was doing. My baby was 2 months old when Cora had me sign a document that I thought was saying that she could travel with him or take him to the doctor in the event that I'm not that I'm working or something like that. That was 2 months after my child was born. 4 months after my child was born, she had me sign another document and just said that she forgot to put in there, like, the first one's either travel or to the doctor. The second one was the same. I can't remember which order she said it, but they were the same. She either said the first one was for travel, and then the second one was, oh, I forgot to put in there for doctor's visit, or the first one was for doctor visits, and the second one was, oh, I forgot to put in there for travel. Either way it goes, that was the excuse that she used to have me sign 2 documents, one at 2 months and one at 4 months. So July of 2014 and September of 2014, she had me sign those documents. Now, the only accountability that I'm taking in this is the fact that I should have read what I was signing.
Yeah, definitely.
I did not read what I was signing because I trusted her as my friend. Okay, I trusted
and as a member of,
and as a member, and let's not forget that she's a member, and not just a member of the Potter's House. She's going through ministry school at the Potter's House. She's an employee of the Potter's House. She is the director of the children's ministry at the Potter's House. Okay, let's remember that. So I'm thinking
children's ministry.
Yes. So so that's the only, when people be like, oh, you don't want to take no accountability, the only goddamn accountability that I got to take is the fact that I should have read what I signed before I signed it. Because had I read what I signed in July of 2014, it wouldn't have been an August. It wouldn't have been a September. You know what I'm saying? It wouldn't have been October. It wouldn't have been a November. It wouldn't have been any of those things.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But I didn't, because I trusted her. And my focus at that time was, I am a highly functioning postpartum depressive woman. I am trying to find me and my kids a place to stay. I am trying to get work. I am trying to find resources. My focus is on now I have to provide and do that by myself, you know, and you're supposed to be helping me where I don't have to worry about childcare. And I don't have to worry about, you know, if I go work a 12-hour shift, who's going to watch my baby? Because he's a newborn, right? Essentially.
Yeah.
So that's where my focus was. So I just trusted her, blindly trusted her. And that's the only thing that I'm going to take accountability for. I'm not ever going to take accountability for what she did to me. So the people who feel like that, they can wrap that shit up, because I'm not doing it.
Right. Because you know what what state you were in. You know what she said. We wasn't there when
I know how she kept pounding in my head, give the baby up. I know how she offered me money and I wouldn't take the money, because there's no amount of money worth me giving up my child. This is a woman, you've never born children. You've never had children. You've never carried children. So you don't know what it feels like to carry a child, birth a child, breastfeed that child, and you think I'm finna just give you my hell the fuck no. You wasn't with me when I was homeless and having to walk to Walmart across highways so that I can not only feed myself but feed my other kids, and having to steal food and having to steal formula. You wasn't with me when I was struggling just to pay a hotel room fee and didn't know how I was going to get it. You wasn't with me when I was going through things with my baby daddy. You wasn't with me when I was going through things with my mom. So you don't get to, no, bitch. I'm sorry. I gotta calm down, because
almost choked.
It gets me heated. Because
I know.
How dare you?
I understand.
How dare you? Just because your ass can't have kids, that you feel like you can go take other women's children, and it would be a difference if I was the only one. I'm not the only one. So people be like, "Oh, you shouldn't did this. You shouldn't did." I said, "Okay, well, what about the other women?"
Yeah.
What about the other women? She preys on women that are going through vulnerable states, or that have mommy issues, or that have, you know, issues going on where they can't really focus, or they can't really, you know, just step up to the plate and just hone on what they should be honing on, because they're not mentally there at the time. She preys on that. And that's how she be trying to get babies.
And you've
So
talked to other women.
I've talked to other women. When I
Mhm.
came forth with the name, and I'm not saying came out because I've been talking.
Yeah.
I've been talking. I've been
Yeah.
talking since 2015. I've been talking.
Yeah.
So when I finally put a name on it, it was droves of women in support that Michelle, I remember I was there.
Mm.
Michelle's not lying because this lady named May made a video. I was there because she was there. The lady is the lady, baby Josiah's people. The baby Josiah, the baby Jojo that she tried to take, his mom came out. So I'm not the only one. Not the only one.
Why they still over there at Potter?
I'm the only one she got that for with though. Well,
Yeah,
outside
yeah,
of
yeah.
Amari.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But they still over there shouting, oh, every Sunday at the Potter's house. She's praying. She's become a doctor, some kind of doctor.
She's not
It,
a real doctor.
I know. We all know that. We just let her
She's
live.
not even mentally
Yeah. I thought
stable enough to
someone
be a
said that
doctor.
she was like, I don't know if she went to a facility at one time
And
or
she one time, it's been
oh,
multiple times.
oh. And
Right.
of course, during a real adoption, you would have to go through some of that psychotherapy stuff.
Yeah, and she wouldn't have passed.
She wouldn't have passed us.
She wouldn't have passed. No, she wouldn't have passed.
Wow. Wow. I'm wondering, Michelle, would you be open? And I know you are very hurt, very upset. Jason is going to turn 10 in May of this year. Would you consider let me see.
Nope.
Wait a minute. Before you say no,
Nope.
would you consider?
Nope.
Hold on.
Mm-mm.
Okay, I'm just gonna ask it. Would you consider weekly bonding sessions between you and Jason?
I'm gonna get that
Huh?
anyway.
Huh?
I'm gonna get that anyway.
What I'm saying is, if Cora agreed mutually between that, Jason, you and Jason can have weekly bonding sessions as an open door, because we can't just uproot him out. He has a new grandpa. He has a new grandma.
That's gonna happen, but that's gonna happen anyway because y'all didn't do right by his father. So
you're right, and everything you saying, I'm
you
sure
can't get around it. Let me tell you something. The reason why I say no is because the cycle isn't going to stop. Hold on, I have to take this. This is my child.
Okay. What are you guys saying? Let's see. Let's not forget Michelle ninth birthday last year. She did an entire party purposely. Yes, I remember that. She did that party, and it was like some things that was done that was really just to get at Michelle, because Michelle put a name on it. Oh man, what else are you guys? Hey, you guys, everybody, would you please do me a favor while we're waiting there? Could you hit like for me? Share this video right now. Share it. Feel free to comment respectfully in the chat, and join the St. James Show, and also be a subscriber and contributor to the St. James Show. So, but just hear me out though. Hear me out though, Michelle. That would be a good.
No, I gotta finish because you already asked it. So let me answer and let me finish.
All right.
The reason why I say no is because the cycle is not going to stop. Do you know that I would come to see my child and I would have to leave food and I would have to leave Pampers at her door because she wouldn't answer the door, or she wouldn't let me in, or she would lie about not being there? Do you know that when I would try to call him, I try to see him, like she'll let me see him for a short period of time and then she'll take it away? Just like even now in November, she didn't reach out to me for me to be able to speak to her. I messaged her on Instagram and told her, you know I want my son. Why are you keeping my child from me? She then messages me back. I have the messages. She then messages me back. So she didn't reach out to me. I messaged her and she let me talk to him. I talked to him the next day. Okay, so boom, I talked to him then. I didn't talk to Jason again until after January of 2023. Okay, so then I talked to him then, and then it's a break of communication again. I didn't talk to him again until July, or no, I'm sorry, April, between March and April. April comes, May comes. He says, Mom, I want you and my siblings to come to my birthday party. Cool, babe, because you know I want to come to your birthday party. You know I want to see you. And at that time, I was willing to put aside. I could have had them served. I could have processor. I could have had the processor sitting outside of the facility where the birthday party was going to be. I didn't do any of that because I wanted the moment to be between me and my son. Right. So I wanted to put aside everything, whatever discord and I had. This is about me seeing my son on this day. You know, so if she turned around and made it like, me and my family are uncomfortable with your presence. Why are you uncomfortable with the truth? I'm Jason's mother. I'm his DNA. I'm his blood. You know, it don't matter what you do for him or how long you've been in his life. You will never be me, ever. Yeah. Okay. So why does my presence make y'all so uncomfortable? Because what I speak the truth, and I don't bow to y'all. I don't put y'all on a pedestal. Why does my presence offend y'all? And if you want to keep saying this is about Jason, then make it about Jason. Because Jason is the one who wants us here. It don't have nothing to do with you, your daddy, your mama, your cat-licking girlfriend, Sonya.
Hold on. I heard a cat. Now, I did hear that she was swimming in the lady pond. Cora. She lit cat. Okay. No problem.
Yeah, so it don't have nothing to do.
Right, no problem. Go on and look at Cora.
You do what you do. It don't have nothing. But my thing is, if I, the victim, if I, the woman whose son was taken from her, if I, the woman who was put under duress and coercion, who was manipulated, who was forced, whose world has really been traumatized and torn apart, if I can put that aside to be in the same room as you to see my child, and y'all call yourself men and women of God, and y'all don't want to do it, and
but the problem.
Hold on, James. Hold on. I'm not done. Hold on.
Go ahead.
Hold on. Y'all didn't want to do it, so then she tells me, "Well, you go and plan him a party." Oh, bitch, you think I? Oh, sorry, I ain't trying to get you demonetized.
Go ahead.
You think I won't plan a party for my child?
Right.
I've been a mama longer than you been an adopted mother, baby. I done popped 5 kids at my twop. Okay? So planning parties is nothing. We do this every
sleep, you plan a party.
In my sleep, eyes closed, I can plan a party. Okay? And what makes you think that I'm not going to plan this one a party? Like you trying to play in my face. So guess what I did, St. James? I planned my baby a party. And I made it public. I had everybody watching. They went with me while I got his gifts. People that donated. Okay, well, this is what we doing. Because I don't shook and jive people. If you donate over here, you give over here, it's going to go exactly where I'm saying that it's going. And I'm going to show you. And I'm going to take you along on the ride. Because, see, I have to dismantle anything that she can possibly try to say. Or try to come back. And that's why I tell on myself. You can't tell on me. I didn't tell the world I was a felon. I didn't tell the world I was fucked up individually and mentally. Okay, I didn't tell the world everything. So you can't come back and say nothing on me. So I brought them along. I planned his apartment. I intentionally picked a place where I can rent it out where no other kids can be there, but my children, his cousins, my family, where it'd be safe, where security wouldn't be able to say, no, we can't clear that.
Right.
Intentionally.
And you talk about Jake's security.
Yes.
Yeah.
And that, I can't say that. That girl, that woman did not bring my son. And did not tell me until 9:45 p.m. where I'm calling and saying, where is Jason? She felt so then she had to then turn around and invite me to the party, the party that they threw together, because it was
Right.
thrown together, because it
Yeah.
wasn't planned. It was thrown together to the party
Mm.
that they threw together and to invite me to it. And I went. I wasn't gonna go, but that wouldn't have been wise for me not to go. So I went and I saw my baby. But that's the type, that's why I say no, because it's not gonna be a weekly bonding. It's not gonna be a weekly anything, because as long as the ball is in her court, she's gonna do whatever the fuck she wants to do. She don't give a fuck about Jason and what's in the best interest of Jason. Because if you gave a single fuck about what's in the best interest of my son, then you will be allowing him to have a relationship with his mother.
And she's listening now. Chorus, I'm sure Cora is listening right now. My thing is they didn't want to have to deal with seeing Jason with you,
They didn't want to have
loving
to
you.
feel that. No,
They
none
didn't want,
of that. And she know I'm not licking your cat.
yeah.
I'm not bowing down to your family.
Well,
I'm
maybe
not better than nobody. Y'all not
maybe
gonna
you
shut
can do
me up.
that.
Y'all not gonna make me be quiet. And I will not tell a lie to save your image. I'm not doing that. I'm not gonna lie to my son. Like she tried to tell me. If you denounce the truth, if you go online and say that everything is a lie, just say that it's a lie. Having my son say this to me, and I had to tell him, like, son, I'm not gonna lie, I'm not gonna do that, because
Wow.
everything I said is the truth. So I've had to stand on that and sacrifice being able to speak to my son, because I'm not gonna do it. I'm not gonna lie for anybody, and I'm not gonna lie to him, because as a mother, I owe him the truth at all times, no matter how ugly it may be. My son deserves the truth and deserves to know the truth, not a narrative that I create, not a narrative that she creates, but the truth.
Let's talk about something real quick.
Oh, yeah.
What in the world? This happened about a couple weeks ago. You had a robbery, a break-in. What did they steal that you know of out of your home when that happened?
My laptop, my iPad, and my safe. And a folder with Jason's final order in it.
Wow. And you alleged it had to do with the Jakes.
That's how I feel. I don't know that to be true, because it's still under investigation.
Thank you.
But I've lived there for 4 years. I've never had my home breaking into. My house was the only house that was broken into. So 1 + 1 = 2 in my eyes.
And the items that were stolen is very
And the particular
suspect.
items that were stolen. And the fact that after I found out about the break-in, I go to my Facebook Messenger to pull up Cora's and I messages, and they're it doesn't even pull up. It's a black screen. It's a black screen. It's a black screen.
Wow.
So,
and how was that investigating?
it's still under investigation. So
Yeah.
I made a report with the county that I stay in, and I told them everything.
And we probably know that's not going to go anywhere, right?
It might not, or it might.
You think it might?
I don't know.
My only thing is what we talked about in the beginning. That's that connection that those Jakes have.
But, I'm going to trust God that if God be for me, who can be against me? If it comes out that it's not the Jakes, I will publicly say that it's not the Jakes. And
Right.
if it comes out that it is the Jakes, I'm going to publicly say
It is the
was
Jakes.
the Jakes.
Wow. So we have your Zelle here, your Cash App. What do you have an attorney? Are you still getting funds for an attorney? What are you doing with donations that you receive?
Donations that I receive goes to all legal resources concerning my son, or let's say, like when I had the birthday party for him.
Right.
It goes to whatever Jason needs, or Like, I know that he wants this moped scooter because of the last time we talked, and I know that he hasn't gotten it yet, because of certain people I've talked to. So that's one of the things that I really want to get him and send to him. So I've been working on that. But that's where it goes.
You think she will give it to him or let him have it?
I don't care.
Yeah. It's just you
It
did
doesn't
it.
matter.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
She probably won't. I
Mm-hmm.
bought him a basketball goal, and she said that she didn't get it. So touche. So I don't care. I still got things that I've bought Jason over the years. I'm not having him.
Yeah.
It's like,
Breeze, we talked about that, and you have to go back and listen to
yeah, but
different.
I'm not disclosing
Yeah.
Jason's father
Yeah.
because
And you don't have to. You
he
don't have
doesn't want to be disclosed.
to.
So
Right.
I'm going to respect his
But
wishes.
it ain't Brandon Coleman.
But it ain't Richard Brandon Coleman.
You know that much. That was Cora's boo.
Yeah. So right
Do
now,
you believe that? Do you believe
We're
that?
just doing discovery, and you know, I can't really say a lot
Mm-hmm.
about
Mm-hmm.
what's really going on, but
Mm-hmm.
just know that when you donate to this fight for Jason, it's going exactly where it's supposed to be going.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I've been very open and transparent. Anytime that I'm doing something with the funds, I'll go live. I bring
Right.
people with me.
Yeah.
Or, you know, if I'm like on your show and people donate,
Yeah.
I send a screenshot like, hey, these people donated. I send a screenshot of where I sent the funds to.
And that
Because,
is correct. The information on the screen is because that's the Cash App, the Zelle, right?
and I have a GoFundMe.
You do have a go and I did pin your Facebook page and your website in the chat. So
Okay.
if you scroll up to the chat, everybody, you'll be able to click on her Facebook to add her on Facebook because you like Facebook more than YouTube, right? Or you been
I'm
going on
just not.
YouTube?
I have StreamYard now. You know,
Okay, yeah, come over to the light.
I'm new, right? I'm new to all
Yeah,
of this because I've been such a private person
right, right,
because of
right,
what I've been going through, but just really in general my whole life because I grew up a church girl. So
right,
I've
right,
always been conditioned to carry myself a certain way. And so all of this is new to me, but I'm working with it because I'm gonna do whatever I gotta do to get my baby back. So I do have a YouTube. It is the Michelle Loud
yep. The
on
Michelle
YouTube.
Out.
So now when I go live, let's say for like the past 2 weeks, I go through StreamYard. So now I'm able to have videos on YouTube, but I am more so on Facebook through anything because that's where my story broke. That's where I have most of my supporters, most of my followers. So I do tend to go on Facebook a lot more, but I'm trying to like bring everything all together because I do have supporters on TikTok and I do have supporters on Instagram and I do have supporters on Facebook. And sometimes it gets overwhelming having to deviate individually through those platforms. So I'm learning how to like bring it all together now.
And what's your TikTok? Still Michelle Out?
The Michelle Loud, yes.
I'm just
Everything
putting.
is the Michelle Loud, or Twitter is the Loud Michelle.
Gotcha. X.
Oh, X, sorry.
You know that though. You know that that's what it is today. There's her YouTube page, everybody, and it's in the description. I mean, her ways to give towards her fund is in the description of this video. It'll stay there when you look at it. If you're going to be watching the replay later, please go to the description and check out her ways to give. Her other websites are pinned to the chat, and I just put in her YouTube page. So we want to blow her up because let me tell you this: what needs to happen, and I wish be open to what my suggestion is: weekly sessions with Jason. But well, we're gonna move on. But what needs to happen? No one needs to book Cora Jakes for nothing. No
That's it, right there.
prayer,
No mentoring,
no
no
mentoring.
nothing, no nothing.
This lady right here, until, and my thing is, this is your story, but until something comes out where she can explain how things went or if things didn't go well, because we've heard a
No,
lot.
until she can produce a license that she is a licensed counselor, a
Well, daddy,
license,
her
like
daddy probably gave it to her. Her daddy probably gave it to her through his school or something.
it
You
ain't
know how
no
that goes.
license. She don't have no license.
Well,
An honorary license is not a license.
no, it's not.
An honorary doctorate is not a doctorate.
No,
Like until she
we got a lot of
complete
those.
college hours to attain
Yeah,
a license to effectively mentor and counsel people, she
yeah,
don't need to be doing it. How are you a life coach?
yeah, yeah.
You a life
Mm-hmm.
coach living a life of a straight woman on stage, but when you get out that platform, you licking cat.
So she's a fool. What? Let me tell me this, Michelle, because I've heard this. What makes you think that she's a lesbian or
I
bisexual?
don't
And
think it. That's why she can't sue me. If I've lied about anything that I've said,
did
why
you know
haven't
that you
I been
said
sued
that?
for defamation of character? Why
Did you?
haven't I been sued? And she tries to say that she hasn't sued me because of my other children, Jason's siblings. No, bitch, you ain't sued me because you can't sue me because you know I'm telling the truth.
Hold on. Did you eat your cat?
She ain't never ate my cat,
Oh,
baby. I'm strictly dickly.
well,
Strictly.
I'm just saying because I'm trying to
Strictly
get some
dickly.
proof.
Strictly dickly. Ain't no
I
proof
know
you
you
can
say
gather
you
from
know,
it.
but
Ain't no proof you can gather from it. I'm strictly dickly. I don't lick cat. I
no,
don't
no.
get my
What I'm saying
cat
is,
licked but by my honey.
you say she is. Did you walk
She
in?
licking
Did you know
Monet cat.
somebody?
Yes.
Who's Monet?
Monet is her friend. She say her best friend, but that's her girlfriend. I've been knowing Monet too since Monet was like 16, 17 years old.
Oh, okay, okay.
Monet Collins also has lied about the platform she's built on domestic violence. That's a whole lie. The books that she's written and Cora has forwarded is a whole lie. She has a whole rap
They
sheet.
they doing that at home, huh? Just creating books and carrying on.
Yeah.
What's her
You
name?
know, that's how they manipulate people to purchase their stuff. Like
Yeah.
Cora used to lie, like she had this children's prayer CD, right?
Wait a minute. Before we go there, what's the woman's name? You said Mona what?
Monet, Monet Cullins, Cullins.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay, so Cora used to do these prayer CDs. And she would probably, if she had 5 CDs, she would get online and tell people, hey, I got one more left. Get it before it's gone. That's a lie. That's a lie.
Ain't nobody buying them.
Ain't nobody buying it, but that's how she entice people to buy it. Like when she doing that mentor shit, hey, I got 8 slots left. That's probably a lie. She probably ain't got no slots. Or she, you know what I'm saying? And she probably got 10 slots because ain't nobody even filled up the 2. You know?
Nobody's biting, and she's really trying to put herself out there and book me, book me, book me, but nobody's booking her. Is that Gaylena White Young? Is that the prophetess?
Her name is Gaylena White.
Just
I don't know
Gaylena
about
White.
no Young.
Okay.
Measured_man has her name in there. It's Gaylena White. And she's from Chicago, Illinois. And what I found out about Gaylena years later is how she obtained her child. It's the same way Cora did me.
These prophets.
And then when I asked her about it, and I got proof of it, if you go to my page, I posted a screenshot. When my baby was 6 years old, she made a post saying, I'm going to summarize it, paraphrase it, saying, I knew something like, I knew that when I saw you in heaven, that you was just right for my chocolate drop, something, happy birthday to good. And I responded, I said, so you did tell me that. Yeah. Because when we was going through court and when we had court, she kept saying she doesn't recollect, she doesn't remember. That's not what she said. No, Wank, you said that. Mm-hmm. You said that. Mm-hmm. And then see, you thought that they did not expect for me to speak. They did not expect for me to open my mouth. they felt like, oh, she's under a gag order. She's not supposed to be talking.
Right.
She has an NDA. She shouldn't be saying anything. They, and I feel like that's another reason why Corey didn't come to me and talk to me when this stuff happened with Brandon. They did not expect for me to speak. But I don't give a fuck about a gag order. This is my son.
It's real crazy when people start asking.
I'm not going to be silenced. You're not going to silence me.
When people start asking to do NDAs,
And let's talk about the NDA.
That's a problem.
Let's talk about the NDAs. Because how she got me to sign the NDA was under false pretense. Okay? You got me to sign the NDA because we were at her house on her 28th birthday, and we were having discussions in her home, and she was just like, well, before we all get to start talking, everybody needs to sign an NDA. So that's how the NDA was signed. But the type of NDA that she had me sign is like, I've never been your employee, ma'am.
Wow. Unbelievable.
Rayshawn, you are always late, girl.
Well, I'm glad to see that you definitely have support, Michelle. You have people who understand your plight. They understand.
Yeah, hold on, Mr. St. James, because child, please stop. I've been seeing you.
You have to ignore him.
Like, or you or he. I don't know who he is, but yes, I am currently under a gag order, and I don't give a fuck about the gag order. Stop asking me questions. That's 1, 2, 3. Put it together. Put it together. You got all these questions. Go back and watch my videos.
Ignore.
I'm not the one.
Michelle, ignore.
Okay,
ignore.
Okay.
He gives me a run for my money, and I ignore him sometimes.
Who is that?
Okay. I don't know.
Why don't you block him?
I don't really block people. I like people to express themselves. Now, I will put them in timeout.
No, so you gotta protect your energy. You know what I'm saying? Some energy doesn't need to fill spaces.
That's true. That's true. But over here, see, I like YouTube. You can put him in timeout. And,
put him in timeout so we can.
Okay, let me do that.
Yeah.
Man, Michelle, thank you for coming on. I know, this is so hard, and it's Friday night, and I'm sure you have a date tonight with your boo.
My honey.
Yeah, honey.
I love him so much.
And how long you been with your honey?
We've been together 1.5 years.
You pregnant yet?
Hell no. We done baby, I ain't having no more kids. I ain't having no more kids. He got kids. I got kids. We done having kids. We just enjoying. He's a great support to me, though. What I will say is
that's good.
He has my back. He supports me. He rides with me. He rides for me. I've never been supported like the way that he supports me. I've never been quite loved like the way that he loves me. So I'm just really genuinely happy in that space. He prays with me. He's there for my children. He's there when I need him, and even when I don't think I need him. So I am truly grateful for my honey.
Man, that's amazing. I'm glad that, because I think everybody deserves happiness. And even with this deal with Jason, I mean, if you trust God,
to be happy.
You deserve to be happy. Yes. And like you said, you've been in the church, you've been raised by, but it's a special thing when it's good you can point out the manipulation in church, because a lot of people are still blind, so.
Yes.
Measure
man. He said, tell her, don't be yelling at me when I send her message.
All right. So, but I really appreciate you for coming on. Like I said, we're going to support you. I'm going to support you. We understand who the Jakes are, and we understand that, it's going to do what it do. But you know what? God has the final word, regardless of who you are. So that don't scare nobody. Okay? It don't scare nobody.
Yes, indeed.
Thank you so much. We're going to get out of here, and I'm not even going to linger around. Michelle, I'm going to get out of here when you get out of here. Okay. So do you have any questions for me? Do you want to make any final words?
A final word would be to the women, or even, because believe it or not, it's fathers that are alienated for their children, and their children are taken from them. And that's another thing that I want to tap into, that it's not just mothers, it's not just women, and it's not just prominent people that's taking people's kids for no reason.
Right.
The
Right.
judicial system is doing it, CPS is doing it, neighbors are doing it, even family members are doing it. So the people that have walked in my shoes or are walking in my shoes, I just want to give encouragement to them to keep on going and keep pushing and don't give up. It doesn't matter how hard it may be or how hard it seems. I know some days we don't sleep because some days I don't sleep. Some days that my anxiety is high. Some days I'm just depressed and I can't get out of bed. But you have to find a way to keep on going and keep pushing and know that greater is on the other side. And as long as you're fighting, even if you're not seeing your child, your baby feels it. Even if they don't know how to communicate what they feel, and they feel the tug of their DNA, their legacy, their lineage pulling and fighting for them. So find that strength within to keep going, to keep moving, to keep marching. And let's be clear, bring Jason home, because Jason is coming home.
Better days are coming, Michelle. Thank you so much for joining me tonight. And I pray that God gives you everything you need in life and that he continues to give the unction to function like the beautiful mother that you are.
Thank you so much.
Later.